Hello, it's Mella from Mella Reads. Nice to see you again. Today I just wanted to quickly do a couple of tags. I wanted to do a book buying tag and a library tag, and I'm going to credit down below who originated these tags as well as some other booktuber newbies that might want to get in on the tag action. I have combined these tags because for me, book buying and book learning are all very much part of my reading and book acquisition experience. So let's dive in. Where do I buy my books from? A mixture of places. I usually order them online unless I'm buying them in a secondhand store. If I'm buying a new copy, I buy it online because I can shop around for the best deal. I like to browse in store, but I don't always purchase in store. Do you ever pre-order books, and if so, do you do this in store or online? The last book I pre-ordered was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I did it in store. I meant to pick it up at like midnight, but sleep, so picked it up early the next morning. On average, how many books do you buy a month? I buy a few books on average per month. That's about probably a little bit more than I read, even when I'm really reading. And I mean, when you add to that library books, that's plenty. Sometimes I don't buy books for quite a while either, and then I might sort of stock up. To use your local library, I certainly do. Stay tuned for that part of the tag. If so, how many books can you or do you borrow at a time? I use the apps my library has for ebooks and e-audiobooks, which have like 5 and 10 respectively that I can loan at a time. My library itself, I think it's 20 or 30 books, which is so many. I mean, I don't know, unless you were doing like an assignment, you needed a lot of reference books. I don't know why you'd need that many books at once. What is my opinion on library books? I think they're great. I think they're a really great public resource and a good way to discover books that you maybe aren't ready to put money into or you can't afford to put money into. I have this, Lady Chatterley's Lover, which I just did a review on, and I've marked it up even though it's a library book by using post-it notes. And I'll just pull them out before I return it, so that works for me. How do you feel about charity shop secondhand books? I love them as long as they're in good nick and they're something I would buy. Otherwise, why not save the money and get like a really cheap copy of it? Do you keep your read and TBR pile together? Yes, because I have one bookshelf. The one you can see here, this is my partner's that he nicked from me because I was doing a big clean out of books anyway. I do try to keep it to the one bookshelf. So I do pretty regular clean outs, but that said, that's where I keep my books. So they're all in there together. Do I plan to read all of the books that you own? More or less, yes. Otherwise, I probably shouldn't be hanging on to them. And what do you do with the books that you own that you feel you will never read or felt you did not enjoy? Again, if I'm not going to read them, I'm not going to reread them. I've changed as a person since I bought it, or maybe I just bought it on an impulse. And there's only so much time and too many books for how much time we have. So sometimes we've got to be more selective. And so those ones, I move them out of my life, and that's okay. Have I ever donated books? Most definitely. I've donated a lot of books, and often brand new, perfect condition. So lucky are the people that pick those bargains up. Have I ever been on a book buying ban? I can't remember if I've been on an explicit one, but again, I've gone through phases where I'm not reading as much. I'm not as engaged with the idea of books and reading, so I'm just not buying them as much. And again, sometimes when my unread is greatly outnumbering my read books in my possession, I just stop buying books for a little while. Do you feel that you buy too many books? Maybe slightly, a little bit above what I read, but again, if I'm reading the books I'm buying, it's not too many books. It can never be too many books if you're reading them and enjoying them and getting something from them. Okay, this is shifting into the library tag now. So how often do you visit your local library? I vary a lot. I go through library-ish phases. Let's say on average a few times a year, maybe more. And sometimes it's not even to loan books. It's just to sit and read because I like the environment. Are you the type of person who checks out more than you know you can read, or are you someone that checks out the exact amount of books that you intend on reading before they are due? Firstly, online renewals are very helpful. And secondly, same as buying books, I'm always like pretty ambitious. I'll borrow 5 or 6 at a time and I will read 3 before I return them. But you know, given they're free, I think I'm a little bit more relaxed with doing that than purchasing books I won't read. How old were you when you got your first library card? I was 8. I'm pretty sure my dad took us to the library intending to loan The Labyrinth on VHS. And I discovered they had a summer holidays reading challenge and I wanted to be involved. I was already quite a big reader by that point, and then I was, you know, ensuring my parents kept taking me back to the library after that because it was a whole new kettle of books that I hadn't explored. Do you go to your library looking for a particular book, or do you check out anything that piques your interest? A little bit of both. Often if there's something I want to read but I don't want to purchase, I'll reserve it so I can ensure it's in stock when I go to the library to pick it up. While I'm there, I invariably browse as well. Depending on my mood will determine where I browse. But that's a really enjoyable part of going to the library. Do you use your library to check out just books? Oh yeah. So as I mentioned, I use the apps for ebooks and e-audiobooks. I'm a big fan of like absorbing books or having books on hand in any way that works for you. And I also borrow DVDs occasionally because again, they're free as long as you return them on time. From what section of your library do you check out a majority of your books? That would be adult fiction. The majority of what I read is adult fiction, so that is the reason for that. What is your favourite part of using your local library? I just think libraries are a gorgeous public resource and we're so lucky to have them. And I don't think I've had any negative experiences with libraries. They're a safe place that I've kept coming back to over my life, where you know you can just sort of get lost in the browsing or in a corner reading a book, and I think they're a beautiful place. So that's it for today. Trying to keep it short and sweet and just a bit of fun, and I will see you again soon with some other content here on Mella Reads. If you're enjoying my videos, please let me know. If you have any feedback, please let me know. Otherwise, take care and I'll see you soon. Bye.